Hi, I'm Jenny Serrano, and I'm here with the Youngest in the Yacht Club Podcast.
Latino gang, they want the money and fame. We go to the city and we don't be tucking our chain. Woke up in paradise and we live in the drain. I know it won't be the same. Someone will put a cocaine. Fly Latino gang. I used to dream of something like this. Remember times I was doing.
Youngest in the Yacht Club. I am Vince Serrano. I got Jennifer Serrano. Jenny Serrano.
Jenny Serrano.
Oh, put a ring on it. Hey.
That's it.
Hey. Jenny, if our viewers don't know, Jenny is my wife.
Wife for life.
Wife for life. Happy wife, happy life, but a happy spouse, happy house.
Yes.
We talked about that.
Yes.
Jenny, I appreciate you for being on the show today. It's a huge honor for me to have you on there.
And it's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Hey.
It's a birthday special.
Hey, Youngest in the Yacht Club.
We're back to the
Birthday.
high fives
It's
again.
my birthday. No.
It's your birthday.
What? Tell them the story about the high fives.
Oh, so when we first got together, when we first met each other,
Right.
a couple of times you'd have to go travel and then come back, and you were very friendly with me.
Very
in a
friendly.
sense, like
Extremely friendly.
mostly just friendly. And so anytime we'd see each other for the first time in the week, whatever, when we would leave each other, you'd always do the high fives. And eventually, I'm like, why does this guy keep high fiving me? Like we're buddies. I mean, we were just learning about each other, so that was fine. But then you gave me hugs.
Was that too friendly?
I mean, it was just like, I think you just were keeping yourself at a safe distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was different. It was just different.
Yeah,
It's
man.
different.
'Cause there's, what was it though?
It was different that you were going with high fives. And I was like, what? I think eventually I was like, no more high fives.
When are we gonna go away from these high fives?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I thought you liked the high five. I did.
It was like, no, anytime we would laugh about something, you'd like, and I'm like, okay. I'm like,
So
not
now-
used to this.
So now we do the fist pump though. No.
No.
With the ring, we do the ring bump.
Now we married.
Yeah. It went from high
So
fives.
I guess it worked out.
Right. It's all part of my plan. Look, don't be telling people about my game like that because they're going to think I ain't got none. Okay?
Well,
Yeah. All right, man. So anyway, so Jenny, the reason why I have you on the show, number one, it's not because it's my birthday. We actually scheduled it today because I think that you're actually now part of the Youngest in the Yacht Club.
oh, I've gotten into business. Yeah, right.
Okay.
And I have you to thank for all of that too.
Well, I appreciate that, but it's not really. It's
Yeah.
not really me. It's you. And so, like Youngest in the Yacht Club, obviously you're my wife. You know what Youngest in the Yacht Club means. What does Youngest in the Yacht Club mean to you?
It's just like from how I see it, like entrepreneurs, like just learning how to grow and get like make it to the top.
Right.
You know, like because yachts are typically owned by
Billionaires,
billionaires or
millionaires,
millionaires,
trillionaires.
and people that have the money for it.
Right.
But it also gives young people hope. You know, like it gives them something to strive for, like to let them know, like that's not out of reach.
Right.
You know,
For
like,
anybody.
For anybody. And that goes, it's not just about the yacht, it's about just success. It's not out of reach for anybody as long as they just keep working hard at it. And so all the people that are part of, the yacht club is like, it's a movement, because everyone is on the same path to greatness and
Right.
to be better than they have ever learned that they could be, I guess. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, no, it's a lifestyle. I mean, you see it all the time. It's a lifestyle. It doesn't feel like work. It's you every day. You've seen it coming from. What's your background? Like where? So tell me about Jenny growing up. Where? Because we have this argument all the time, right? Where are you from?
Where am I from? I know every time we talk about it, we get into it because anytime people ask you where you're from, you say Tampa. And I'm like, you aren't from Tampa. Like, and I get it. Like when they ask you where you are originally from, New York is the answer, right?
Right.
And it is for me also. So we just claim Tampa now because we've lived here so long and we've done so much growing in our lives
About
in Tampa.
20, 30 years.
Yeah, right. So Right. But, you can't forget about where you also came from, right? Because it also shaped different things that you not even realize right now.
For sure. I just try to do it because, there's a bunch of people that want to be from New York.
I know.
And then
people
when they
that want
ask
to be
me
from New York, they say, oh, I'm from New York. Oh, where'd you live? Oh, I didn't live there. My parents did. It's like, what are you talking about? You're from New York. You're from where you were from. And that's what my question was to you, where you are from.
But if I say New York, all my cousins going to be like, man.
You were born in New York, but
Okay.
you've lived in Tampa most of your life. That's an easy answer.
There you go. That's the way to do it.
And you reside more with Tampa. Now you have lived in all these other places also. I've only lived in Florida and New York all my life.
Okay.
So I could only...
How'd this end up about me? Where are you from?
It's your birthday. It's your birthday. So it's your birthday. So I think that, I think we understand each other also in a different way because we both are from similar areas and stuff. So except for, the West Side.
So where are you from?
I'm from New York, but I have lived in Tampa for the past 20 years. So
that's awesome. And you've gone back and you've moved forward. You've done things. What, like growing up, what did you come up with? Like where
we lived in.
This is for the viewers that
years,
I know you, but this is for our viewers.
Every 2 years we would move from Florida to New York. We don't. It would be because the weather was too hot or the weather was too cold from when we were told. I don't know what the truth in it was, but I think even my upbringing has helped me relate to you,
right?
In a sense, like you've gone to prison, and my dad had too, and so like understanding it from different perspectives, right? Like I can understand it from your child's point, you know what I mean? Like, and then I can also understand it from my dad's point. So like, that's how I understand what you may have gone through,
For sure. Let's talk about, I want to talk about you. Like, I want to talk about, everybody knows my story. I want to highlight your story. You know what I'm saying? I want to highlight Jennifer Rodriguez, youngest in the Yacht Club. A lot of people see they see the glitz, they see the glam, they see the workout videos, they see the real estate videos, they see your pictures, they see all the things about you. But I want the people to actually know, who is Jennifer Serrano? And I said Jenny Rodriguez.
Well, I get it.
Was that your face?
I get it, like, because my past is Rodriguez, right? So
right.
It's like getting to know who that person is.
Yeah.
I think that me with that last name, like, I think that I was kind of like lacking my own identity. For you know what I mean, like for most of my adult years anyways.
Really? Why do you feel like that?
Well, I think that because like I was always somebody, like something, like somebody's sister or someone's girlfriend or someone's mom, you know what I mean? Like, and then like, so ever since I've been with you, it's like I've learned, I don't know, I guess I had some sort of independence, like
you can start over.
Yeah, starting over. And it's like, so I gravitate more to things that I can do for my own self.
That's awesome.
So it's not like people will know me as who I am first, and then learn my family and learn, you know what I mean, like who you are and stuff. Like, right. It's not just like I'm Vince's wife.
No.
Like, or you know what I mean, like. So
what does Jennifer Serrano stand for now?
I think that I would say like I feel like I stand for more like women empowerment and for like independence, and I think it's so important to teach people how important it is to have your own identity. Like, do things that you like and not just what your partner is into. You know, like don't just sit there and watch football on every single Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, like just because your partner is into it.
Right.
Like, what are you doing to better yourself? Your partner may not always be there. There could be death. There could be separation. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to be left there with not knowing who you are 20 years in.
For sure.
Or not having any kind of, if you're, like, sorry, but if you're staying at home, taking care of the family, I get it, it's important. And some people like live to be a mom or something like, but you have to also have something else that makes you happy.
Absolutely.
And I get it that you can be happy as a mom, of course. But it's just there's that other part that needs to be like, I don't know, fulfilling, like for example, I quit my old job, right?
Right.
And then I got in with your job
Okay.
at Solar Central.
Okay.
I was always your wife or your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Working there, right? And
it's hard to escape that.
It's hard to escape that. So what happened? I stopped working there. Even, and then I got into something that I've always been interested in, which is real estate.
Right.
Right. And so I did my courses. I did my tests. I did all of that without, without you.
Yeah. You even tell me, shut up, get out of here.
It's just it's so important, and even just my choices in life, starting a different gym. I start there, and nobody knew who I was beforehand. Nobody knew about my past. Not that there's anything to shy away from, but they don't know me as someone's ex or someone's. You know what I mean? I was able to create my own identity and find people gravitate to me. So before, you may inherit friends, inherit different people just because of the person that you're with.
Right.
But I was able to create my own identity, and I think that it was a good feeling. And so now, even switching over to real estate, people are meeting me before anything else, and they stick with me, or if they enjoy my presence, and and it's not just I don't know.
You're building your own story. You're building your own identity, like you said. You're building you, and it's actually. So this is the reason why I wanted to say this, because this is your time. And I see it, and a lot of times, people want to hold their partners back, right? They want to. I don't want you to work, or I don't want you to do this, and sometimes I feel like that's insecurities.
I agree with that too, because a lot of times it doesn't matter, the man or the woman, they want to have that upper hand, or they want to know that you depend on them.
Right.
Right. And
it's
and it works for some people, but then there's
usually
troubles. There's usually troubles.
Right.
And like I said, if things may not work out. If the man is always working, he may find somebody at work while you're home taking care of the kids.
For sure.
And then then there's trouble there, and then
you're seeing all that stuff with the cops.
You're left there with nothing. You're left in your 30s, in your 40s even, with all these years of no experience in the real world, and you have to figure it out and try to create a life now. And it's why not just get ahead of that? Make sure that you are good. No matter what happens, you can come or go. It don't even matter. But it's make sure that you are good.
Yeah.
Either way.
And I think a lot of people be like, yo, what do you mean you can come and go? Yo, I want to know that if anything happens to me, that you could be straight. And you've seen me up late at night wondering that. You've seen me and I've seen you even today. Now with you creating your own identity, you creating your own income, it's I'm seeing you hustle, What about Jenny the person? You once told me something about yourself. It's hey, look, what did you say? If someone has a problem.
Oh, absolutely. If somebody has a problem with me, which doesn't happen often, but sometimes people just got problems with people altogether. But I really feel I go out of my way. I'm a people pleaser. And sometimes that might be too much for people. Sometimes I might, be too happy or whatever for people. But if somebody has a problem with me, I truly feel it's something wrong with them. You know what I mean? And I don't, because I am loyal to my people, and I won't do anything to ever disrespect or make them feel uncomfortable. You see it too. I'll be extra careful with things just so I don't offend somebody. And I think that's super important. But it doesn't.
Sometimes that happiness gets on people's nerves, right? And then those people aren't for you. And I see that all the time. You say, "Why are you always happy all the time?" What?
But internally, they wish that they could be like that also.
For sure.
But since they don't know how to, they just want to be hateful.
Yeah.
That's all they know.
They want to project that on people, and
it's all.
And it's cool. Whatever floats your boat, right? Youngest in the Yacht Club, float your boat, but it ain't gonna be in this sea of negativity. I really have seen your journey. I think it's awesome to see kind of from where we first met. Let's talk about going through high school, going through growing up. moving and all those things. Tell your story. Tell like, so you did you have everybody there? What kind of family did you grow up in? Like, tell the viewers.
My family was always very close. So we were our own gang, right? So
Gang.
anywhere we would move, it was like some kids would be like, "Oh, do you want to be friends?" Like, because kids would ask each other stuff like that, and it'd be like, "Yeah, we can be friends, but I don't know how long I'll be here for." I don't think that is on.
No, it's on. Yeah, it's on. You're good. this thing on. Yeah, it's
Mike,
on.
check 1, 2. But some people will be like, I don't know, like, oh, I don't know how long I'll be here for. And I value my family a lot because, there's been times when we didn't have anything. Like money was tight, whatever. Like, but we always had each other, and that's what I think that is important. Like, to teach our own kids. It's not always about money, because money comes and goes. Right. But it's like your family is like.
It's good. It's good. And I know how much your family means to you. And I think that it's awesome that you're preaching that, because this is what people need to see. People want to know who you are and what you stand for, and so your family, they mean everything to you, right? And like, who is your family? Like, who do you have in your family that really help keep the glue together? Like,
well, my parents.
Your parents. That's awesome.
They always taught us how important it is to always be there for each other.
Awesome.
And it's
how big is your family? Oh, okay. So there's still working.
so that's a crazy thing too, because now the youngest one, he didn't grow up with us. He has no idea anything.
Yeah, he almost lived like what? Like not only child, but
yeah, no, he really, like, it was more like an only child kind of life for him, because we were all out of the house.
Right.
By the time he was 2.
That's awesome.
So he was always the baby, which is fine. Which is fine.
Right, but now he's now
he's 18.
And he's not a baby.
Crazy.
And he got a baby.
And he's got a baby.
So it's like seeing him grow up. How did that transition with seeing, like, what are you, the middle child? Are you the?
I was always the middle child.
Oh.
Middle child tendencies. But I was actually really. I know people. I don't know. People have stigmas about middle children, like.
Yeah, I mean, we classify everything in today's.
Yeah, but I was actually like the easy. I think that I was the easiest out of all my siblings.
Why?
To raise, because I don't know, my personality. I was very upfront with my parents about anything. Like, if it was a boy I wanted to date, and my dad would always have discussions with us.
Okay.
We'd have like living room meetings. Every Friday we'd have like a game night, but every random time he'd like, kids, come in the living room, and so we'd all have to sit down, and he'd like, does anyone have anything you want to talk to me about? That was your time to get it out. And I know this one to my right got something she got to tell, but she's not saying nothing. I'll go first. I like this boy.
Yeah.
And I was thinking if I could date him, and my dad would be like, ask some questions, and then he'd be like, okay, have him come to the house, meet me. I'm like, fuck. I don't even know if I like this person enough
to bring him
home. But you want so it was like we'll be in middle school. Oh, you got to come home, meet my dad. That kind of helped weed out the people that were not really trying to talk to us, right? Like,
yeah, because
my other siblings would have people that they would bring in, and the guys won't show up. My dad don't want to have anything to do with them then. They won't show up because they're scared.
Yeah.
My dad was very strict when we were growing up. He had 4 daughters, like, it was like back to back.
It was a bit like Bad Boys.
Yeah.
What's up, you look like you about 30.
Yeah, so I can imagine. I really even can't imagine how tough it would be, because I only have 2 boys, like,
right.
And we both have 2 boys between each other.
Yeah.
And I think that they taught us a lot of valuable things, and they, as strict as they were, we still had some kind of freedom. And I think it's important that, as parents, you have to have an open relationship with your kids, really able, so that they can talk to you about stuff. Even though we had an open relationship with, like, discussions and stuff, like the oldest one would that was the oldest daughter. So it's like
she's making all the mistakes.
She's making all the mistakes, which is great for me, right?
Right, because you're
writing down her secrets and diaries.
Wrong.
And my dad would do random backpack checks. He wouldn't have to always look at mine because he knew, he would go do backpack, and he'd find everyone's secrets everywhere. Do I need to check your bag, Jen? I'm like, no, you could look, but you're not going to find nothing. And he won't. He'll just continue going on.
So you knew how to navigate.
Yeah, and I knew how to be real with them. And so I feel like they respected me, and we had a good respect between each other. So it's just like, my sisters all think that I got favored. I got the better treatment and stuff because I would get away with a lot more things. But I always had good reasoning for what I did if I ever got into any kind of slight trouble. And then my parents would understand, and it would be over.
So they trusted you a lot.
They trusted me.
And it's because you learned from everybody else's mistakes.
Yeah.
Did you pass any of that down to the younger sisters or younger brothers?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. You got it. So I've always been very observant also. Since I was and I know it because I remember my thoughts that would go in my head even back in kindergarten, even before kindergarten. And I would always be watching what's going on, and I remember the thoughts and the questions that were going on in my head.
Like what?
I was just thinking about something today, but I don't know about speaking about it. But so when my dad had gotten into a car accident years ago when I was in first grade, and it was the night before Mother's Day, and I was like, in my head, I was like, why did he got into a car accident, and I was like upset. I'm in first grade. I'm like, why would he go out the night before Mother's Day? I thought that was kind of like selfish, I guess.
Right,
because I'm like, now you got into a car accident and he could have died, So just I think about those things and even I'll be like, if someone brings somebody around, I'll be like watching them, what are their intentions? And I do the same thing with you. I can always tell who is there for you. And then I tried telling you about it, because I'm just very, I don't know what that
Protective.
Protective and intuitive,
you definitely are a great judge of character. It's I'm seeing you get emotional, but I know that that's who you are. And I live with you, so I understand. And so I'm not going to stop because I know that you need to get the story out. And there's things that when I see how passionate you are about your people, I love that about you. I know that your intentions are pure every single time. And yeah, for sure, if somebody's not for you, you're going to sniff them out right away. And that's the one thing that I love about you, Jenny. I think that's one of the reasons why I married you is you're very observant, you're very wise, and you look and you see your surroundings and you can smell, I'm not supposed to be here. We got to go. And I think sometimes because of the areas that I've been in, you sometimes have to grab me and be like, hey, you're not in this life like that anymore. You don't have to be. And you kind of drag me out. Kind of in that, when I'm in that deep water, you're like my life jacket. You're like, I'm not getting in this water. Okay, if I got to go in to get you, we're going. And I love that about you. Let's go from high school into college, right? What did you want to be? What did you?
So a little bit before that, I think that it was important also that we moved around so much because we were able to be in different environments, one completely different from the next.
Right.
And so I think that it helps me be able to adjust to different kinds of people and be open to different kinds of people. Not everyone's going to be like you. And,
right. Different personalities, different upbringings. And this is what causes this person to have this kind of attitude. Or, so it kind of helps open your eyes. It was stability for me that is important to me now. Because so my children, I want them to have a stable lifestyle. Right.
And that's why they've been in the same school since kindergarten. And I've always wanted that for my own self, to grow up with the same group of kids because I didn't get to.
Right.
And I don't know if that's going to be the right way or not, later on, because moving around was able to get us to see different, experience different things.
Right.
So I don't know if that's going to be beneficial to them or not in the end, like that they've been in the same school and been in the same area and stuff.
We see the reasoning though.
Yeah. And so going from high school to college, I didn't know what I wanted to do or what I wanted to be. And it was always that question that kept coming up of, what do you want to be when you get older? Mm-hmm. What do you want to go to school for? What do you want to be? And like a singular thing, a singular title. And I think that as I started getting older, I went to college for merchandising, to be a buyer. And that was not even something that something that kind of came in my mind a couple times. And then I just saw a commercial one day and I was like, yeah, okay, that sounds like something I would probably be interested in doing. And $90,000 later, my loans and stuff, I'm not even doing that. I'm still going to have to pay that.
How do you feel about that? Like the college?
I don't think that we should be, I think that, how do we trust 18, 19, 20-year-olds, even in the early 20s? How do we trust them with such high loans?
High debt, right? For education.
I know I did not understand money at that time. And then the school's not even open anymore. The school closed down.
That's crazy.
You know, so it's like, I'm not the one to say it, but there's just got to be some other way, maybe the way other countries have free college and stuff. That would probably be great. But it did help me get into, different jobs that I was interested in.
Different avenues.
Because of going there.
Right. You got to see different kinds of people too. What school was it? I know you said the school wasn't.
International Academy of Design and Technology.
So what?
It was right down the street from my house.
What did you?
So it was convenient.
For sure. $90,000 later.
$90,000 later. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I think that it is important to teach our own kids now. You don't have to limit yourself to just one thing. And you don't have to go to college to be successful.
Wow.
Don't, like, when you're talking to your kids, instead of saying, what do you want to do? Like, what are all the things you want to do when you get older?
What do you want to
Give them
accomplish?
more open, broad, like, range of ideas. Because it's so much pressure to put one item in there. Like, I want to be a firefighter. Then you know what I mean? Like, then you stick to only just that.
And then that's all you are.
And that's all you are. But you didn't know that there's all these different other things that you can do.
And you can be different things. You could be an investor.
Yeah.
You can be all types of stuff. Yeah, for sure. I think it's important that we know that and we educate our kids that you don't have to be just stuck in one box. You're not just one thing.
You don't have to limit yourself.
So what are you now?
I'm a lot of things now.
What are you?
Right? So my main priority right now is real estate.
Okay.
And I think that this is a great age that I'm at right now to be in it because I have a lot more life experience. So even though I can be like, I wish I would have gotten into this in my early 20s, I wouldn't have probably had any kind of understanding of life and still the value of money and what it is and what it means to a potential buyer or even, to my own self.
Right.
What are you going to do with the money? The money would be gone.
Why do you think that?
Well, I also, why the money would be gone?
Yeah, why? Yeah, like that because of the life experience?
Yeah, because life experience, like when you're younger, you're going to probably blow all the money on stupid stuff that you're not even going to have 10, 20 years later.
I'm on that. I'm in that boat.
Yeah, it's like then you hit a certain age and you're like, I worked hard all these years. What do I have to show for it?
You don't think you would have been responsible with it?
I think I would have probably been a little bit more responsible with it, but
maybe not.
I don't know. And I think I was always pretty responsible with my money and stuff, but
right.
There's a lot of money that could be made in it, so I don't think that you're like mentally or ready to handle that at that age.
What made you want to get involved in real estate, and how did it how did you even get into the industry?
I think I've always been into houses and stuff. Like I've always thought about doing it. Huh?
You helped us get ours.
Yeah,
I was trying to get something outside of Robles Park, and you were like, "Oh my God."
I was like, "You're not going to be here often, and I'm going to have to be in this house by myself." That was not it.
So how did you decide, hey, look, this is something that I want to do?
So I had thinking about it throughout the years. I actually wrote it down in one of my books from like 4 years ago. I was like, I just found it the other day, and it said, I'm going to be a successful real estate agent.
Wow.
But I don't even know what happened after that. Like, I didn't even do, like, it's not that I had went to courses or anything to do it.
I mean, you did.
But I found it from like 4 years ago. So, but I think getting into sales, learning that there's no limits to what you can make,
right,
is great. And I want to have that freedom of not having to sit inside of an office all day.
Mm-hmm.
I can do what I love to do, which is meet people and build relationships with people. I love making people happy.
Right.
One of the biggest investments, right, is owning property.
Yeah.
So it's like that's something that can make somebody really happy.
It is. How
At least I can like help out with that. Like that's a like super fulfilling, you know.
How does it feel like when you're out there helping homeowners find their homes and, you know, find the right one, and then how does it feel when you actually connect with them and find that right one? What does that do like for them, and what does that do for you?
It's exciting, you know, when it actually starts hitting you, like when because you know you have to kind of feel them out and see what they're interested in.
So I just can't go in there.
It might take a couple times, you know, a couple showings. It shouldn't take that many for you to start understanding what they're looking for. But it is a nice feeling to kind of dig their brains so that you can kind of see their vision also.
Right.
So think about how it's kind of exhausting at the same time, right? Because not just are you learning different personalities, you're learning different tastes. You know, like, so it's kind of, it's a roller coaster. I was telling you the other day, today actually, it's a roller coaster. It's ups and downs. You know, obviously it's a hard pill to swallow if the home that someone is interested in gets taken from somebody else and they really loved it.
Right.
I understand that though, and people don't really understand at the same time, like that house might get taken, and then it leaves you having to keep searching. It could really hurt people, right? But that house is not for you. And people don't understand that until they actually find that house that is for them. Then they'll realize why the other houses didn't work out and they fell through.
Right.
It's the same thing with relationships also.
Right.
You know, it's the same thing. A breakup may hurt you at that time.
Right.
But then you realize, you understand later on why it didn't work out. And then something else will come along and make you happier than anything. Yeah. Which is what you did for me.
Oh, that was me? I was happy. Okay. Hey, I love that. I need that. I feel like you did that for me too. I feel like there's so many times because, you know, when we met each other, I wasn't even supposed to be in Florida. I was supposed to go up north, and I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna come home, and come down. And then when I met you, I wasn't even supposed to be there. I was tired. I had just finished shooting a video. And then all of a sudden, you know, I go with a friend of mine. We go into Pino's palette, and, you know, there you are, painting with a twist. And it was crazy to see, like, even that at that point, like, our story of how we connect. There were so many roadblocks in the middle of that stuff. It's crazy how we got to weave our way through. You know, explain like what you think, like, how do you feel? How do you look at the world? Like, how do you look at the world through your experiences? Like, are you a big like religious person? Are you a big, you know, how do you feel? How do you look at?
I have strong belief, like, you know, in God and stuff. I feel like emotional a lot of times because I'm like, I feel like, well, like I just wrote, and it could be the universe as people would think, you know. But like if I start thinking about something that I really want, or if I write it down and then it's like, I start doing the steps it takes to get there, and then things will just start popping up and working out in my favor. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, like I'll talk out loud. I'm like, God, I know that was you. Like, thank you so much. You know, and it's just.
Do you feel like that happens every single time?
I feel like it happens every time it's supposed to. But I really do. I mean, thinking right now, yeah, I think it does happen every time.
Right? Yeah. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, you're like 10 for 10.
Yeah, like I was just driving in the car the other day and I was like, oh my gosh, and I wanted to call you because I was just like, things just started popping up. Like every single day, I get signs, I feel like, that I'm in the right career.
I always said you're going to do bigger things than me. I always say that. And you kind of look at me like, and I'm like, dude, you have so much more. Number one, you have more time. Yeah, you do. You've created more time for yourself, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, think about the things that you're able to do, the freedom that you have. Like have you been in the corporate world at all? Like,
yeah, I was in the corporate world. I was, for 7 years in corporate.
How did that feel?
It was great for a good amount of time.
Okay. Why? What did you like about it?
Well, I just loved the group of people that we worked with.
Yeah.
And it was a fun job. It was decorating TV sets. And it was just for HSN.
That's awesome.
So like the Home Network, the Home Shopping Network in St. Pete, the actual studios. So we would, decorate sets, and we had such a great bond, like all the set designers, and we had such a great time, and like everyone was really helpful, like really cared for each other, and then QVC took over, and kind of washed everything out, like. The leadership changed, and then we got new leaders, and they weren't
the same.
I don't know. And I was just telling them the other day, they weren't the same, and maybe that's what the place needed. I don't know, but as far as I saw, everyone that was there for years was dropping off, starting to quit, and it's just like a domino effect.
Right.
The good thing is that great things came from that, right? Because I was coming home complaining all the time about our new managers that we had. And you kept telling me, which I thank you for that too, because you kept telling me, if you hate your job so much, I'm tired of hearing about it. Just quit. We have enough money saved. You can just
take it.
You could just use that to get you going for a little bit until you find what it is that you truly want to do. And to have that kind of support in your partner is so important. You could have been like, don't quit until you find something else, because what are we going to do then with money? But you helped me take those risks. It's a risk.
I felt like you were playing it safe.
And I always have.
Yeah.
Right? I've always played it safe because that's all I know.
Right.
But now I understand, that moment that you decide to take those risks, that's when the things will start coming to you. Like, if you're willing to put the work in too at the same time.
Yeah, you got to be.
I could have just quit and just stood at home all the time and not done, just gave up on everything.
Right. Oh, we wasn't gonna let that happen.
And that's because I like to think that I would have kept. That's why I always said it. Like, I would have still found something to do, but
you found what you wanted to do though.
Wait until it comes to you.
So, what does it take to be? You got into real estate. Why can't I just be out here showing homes to people and say that I'm in real estate? What does it take to actually be a realtor? And why do people need a realtor? Because I've heard there's people who are out there trying to make apps to get rid of realtors. There's people that are trying to do different, you see like Rocket Mortgage or no commission, all this stuff. Like, what does it take to be an actual realtor?
It's that extra research that we have to do. That you may look at your life right now. Would you have time to sit there and search for houses all day?
Hell no.
No.
You saw it. I want to go get the
we do all that work for you.
Right.
And it's so helpful, but people want to do things on their own a lot of times, even if it's selling their house without using an agent. You have to do all this extra work. So that's what we're here for, is to trim all that off for you. Yeah, well, you might have to pay some money, but your time is important too. For sure. Right? That's taking time away from what other things you got to do.
Yeah. How do you feel about the industry? Because people are like, interest rates are high, homes. When's the best time to buy?
The best time to buy was last year. Or, you know what I mean? Like now, it's never like just do it, The interest rates will fluctuate. You can always get, your house refinanced. So like we say, right? marry the home, date the rate.
Ooh.
So
What does that mean?
if you love that house, if that house is for you, then do what you got to do to make it happen, right?
Marry the home, date
The rate.
the
I didn't
rate.
just make that up. That is a thing.
But I don't know this stuff. So I feel like different industries have different terms. Like they have different slang, different lingo, and I don't think our viewers know either because like we're teaching them, and so it's like, how do I? For the people who are like youngest in the yacht club, is realty like is that the way to go? Is it real? Is the money?
It's not for everybody. It is not for everybody because not everybody has that tough skin and that understanding of what it takes in sales. Right? You can go months without making anything.
How do you go months? How do you go months without making anything?
Well, in the beginning of my time, I had a different situation because when I first got into real estate, I got a deal right away.
Do you think that was?
I think that was God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, so that was great. Held you off for a couple months,
Right.
While you're still working on building up your leads and stuff because I didn't have any clients when I first got in.
Well, you did when you first got in.
Well, I did, but that was just a random person that saw the house, investor, wanted to get the house, and I was there.
Yeah, but I'm saying, do you think that was a coincidence? Do you think that was?
No, I think that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that happened the way it did because it was like a sign. Hello, this is the path that you're supposed to be in. And so throughout the months, I didn't get another deal for like a couple months later.
Okay.
But I was still doing okay. I was able to do the side jobs too, right? I was doing Instacart. I was doing shipped. I'm sorry. And every time I would do those, it helped because it helped keep my money coming in.
Right.
Something. I was dropping off my cards while I was delivering groceries. Like,
that's awesome.
I would still keep going. And even though I would get offered, oh, why don't you come work here just so that you can have some steady income coming in? It wasn't in my field, in real estate field. So it was like, you know what? I know how important it is. If you are trying to get something, to be successful in something, you have to just tune off everything and tune out.
You had to burn the ships. You got to burn the ship.
You gotta go through the lows too.
Yeah.
So finally you get another deal. A couple thousand that'll help you, help you keep you going for another couple months. But now I'm working on that steady flow now. Now I have a lot of people that I'm talking to and that I'm working with.
Are you still doing the shipped and the?
I haven't.
Why?
I haven't been doing it for like a month or two now because you have helped me too, right?
How? I mean, you don't have to tell. Yeah, you don't have to give me.
You saw. So because you saw how much I was putting into real estate, and you gave me you gave me some money to kind of help float me for a little bit.
Right, but I don't think that. So I want to make sure sure that we know, like, this is not me.
Yes.
Because
I know, but that's what I go back to. You are a supportive partner.
For sure.
And you already know, like if I need a little bit of help, that'll keep me going. But you already know it's to help me in the long run that I'm gonna make it work. Like,
right. But why not do all of it all at the same time? Why not take the little boost, then go
get? There's too many distractions. There's too many distractions, and so every time I would think, I'm gonna go do ship today. I'm gonna go do Instacart just to bring in that money. I stay back a little for a couple minutes longer, and then I start getting leads. I'll start getting people contacting me that I don't even know, like just from random places. And so it sticks in my mind, like, this is a reason that this is happening.
Right.
If I was out doing an order right now, a shopping order, like, I wouldn't be able to give them that time and focus, and I could lose them.
Right.
So it's like I need to just continue on that path.
Stay focused.
We already
avoid distractions. And you said it's almost crazy because it's the other opportunities become the distractions on what you really want to accomplish. And you're seeing that that if
for that to happen every single time is not a coincidence.
that's what we want to get to.
And so even how important it is to write down your goals. I never knew how important that was before. Thought you just think about things. I want to do this, and at this point, and learning how important it is to actually write it down. Put it in front of your face every single day. When we did vision boards a couple years ago, I think we made every single thing on that board work, except for one thing, which was get our passports.
Working on that.
Well, we're going to get that this year. But everything on our list we checked off.
Yeah.
Things that I would have thought were like leaving HSN. How much I did love my job. But that was on my list of things to do. Getting a house. We wanted it. We loved it. The house. We made it work. We made it happen.
It's crazy.
Because it's what we wanted. Like,
yeah. That whole like,
it was crazy because the way it worked out, it was for us.
Well, could you tell the story about what led us to buy the house? Because people don't believe me.
It's just...
No. The actual story.
The actual story?
Yeah.
Like, look at your neck. It's very believable.
Okay.
This man spends so much money on jewelry.
Okay.
And I'm not... He likes to be flashy, He likes to be flashy.
Damn, dog.
He likes to be flashy.
Well, I'm not. I'm
surprised you don't have nothing nothing blinging in your teeth. But I'm like,
I got nice teeth. Okay. Okay. I don't want to do that.
You do have beautiful teeth.
Thank you.
And so I'm like, all right, we're living in this apartment,
right?
Which was fine because we had only lived there for like 2 years.
Right.
We had only been together for like 2 years.
Right.
Which is another crazy thing.
Yep.
And then I'll always follow you to the jewelry store. I'm not really into jewelry like that. But I was like, why not? What did I say? I can't even remember right now.
You looked at
it. We could put that as a down payment for a house.
Yeah, you told me after I bought it. Or after I bought the jewelry. After I spent like...
Yeah, so your face was like, huh?
Yeah, it was like...
You want to buy a house? I'm like, yeah. And so we stayed up until, I don't know, 3 o'clock in the morning, writing out a plan and writing out our budget and all the things that needed to go into it. And maybe within that week, we found our house.
Which was crazy.
We only saw maybe one home before that.
It was a new construction.
And it was just too cookie cutter for us.
It didn't feel like home.
It didn't. And it was too perfect, I feel like, also. And it was far.
Yep.
So then I was looking online because I've looked at houses online for years, just to see what was out there. And I presented the house to you, and it was out of our budget.
It was out of our budget, and I was like,
but you were open to seeing it. We had a couple other houses that day that we had to show, like that we were going to go see. But we saw that one. As soon as we pulled into the driveway, you said, "Oh, yeah, this is it. This is it. This is it." We hadn't even gone inside the house. But even when I was looking at the pictures beforehand, I was just like looking. I feel like that's another thing. Every time I like really focus on something and I really like put my mind in it,
yep,
it works.
It happens
that way.
I feel like it happened too because we closed super fast.
We did. It was during a time when it was taking other people months to close.
During COVID.
The
pandemic.
2020.
The deep in it.
I knew someone that didn't close for like 7 months because the offices kept getting shut down. We did it in 30 days.
30 days we closed on our house, girl.
That's why it was like everything was just working out perfectly.
Fire.
Perfectly. That's how we just don't even question the process. We just know that was for us.
That was it.
Because I've been under contract before, maybe 2 other times in my life. And it fell through for whatever reasons. And it would break my heart because I'm like, what happened? Like, I'm like, why? Like, why did this happen? But this was it. This was the house.
We walked in that house. I was actually firing somebody. Not that I want to fire people, but like this guy deserved it.
Yeah, you were in an intense conversation, and you're like, that just changed the whole mood. Because you're like, hold up, I gotta let you go. I'm like, like this firing process is gonna have to be on hold, but you already know what's about to happen.
Yeah, like you know what time it is, so I'll call you back. And then we walked in there. It was out of our budget. I was scared, but when we walked in, it was like, that's how I knew that, like, when you said you wanted to go into real estate, I wasn't even questioning it because I knew how I felt when I walked into that home with you, and you found it because the stuff that I was looking for, pay less shoes. And then when you found that home, I felt it. I could see the vision. And I was like, yeah, this is it. This is our home. We didn't even have all the money all together yet. We didn't have everything done. We were still like.
But you figure it out, right? And that's the biggest thing. Those big moves are scary, but you have to be like brave enough to just go all in. Mm-hmm. And then, and then you'll find out that was a move.
That was.
So rather than paying rent, right after we left, we saw that the rent had went up probably $500.
That was crazy.
From the apartment that we were at.
Yeah.
Our mortgage is
less than what we were paying.
Way less than that.
Way more
space.
Way less than what we were paying then.
Yeah.
We ended up paying less to own, and now we're winning. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It is a beautiful home. I love it.
So, Tampa's just a hot area, so it just keeps going up. So, super thankful and blessed that we were able to do that when we did.
It was an awesome time. So let me ask you a question, Jen. Now, like, you work out a lot. You are going crazy with the videos, with the workout videos. You're going crazy with the realtor videos. Do you have another passion besides like?
I do. I mean, I love working out. I think it's we gotta take care of ourselves now so that our future selves will, thank you.
You look great, by the way.
Thank you. that was not part of my life before.
Why not?
So all that comfortable, like just being comfortable, like, and at younger ages, like, oh, I can eat whatever I want to eat, and then nothing, I won't gain any weight. Your body starts changing. Even after having kids, your body starts changing. As we start getting older too, and that's my something that I do for me. Like, that's my me time, I won't get on my phone. Like, that goes to record, yeah, but not to take any calls. Like, it's gonna have to wait, and you gotta have that designated time to yourself.
Yeah. Does it help you? Does it help you? Like,
it helps me. If I don't go to the gym, my mood is off. You've seen it.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't feel happy with myself. And though I have so much more growing to do still, with my own body goals, I'm just learning to be a little easier on myself too.
That's awesome.
I know that I work hard, and I know I also have to tweak my eating habits too.
You can eat whatever the hell you want, and it's crazy.
But that's the importance of it, to keep that focus.
Right.
It's easy you can't depend on nobody when you go into the gym also, when you're working out, because everyone's goals are not the same as yours.
Right.
I've tried doing, I have my steady workout partner now. In the past, I've tried to have workout partners. They'll go a day and never show up again.
Yeah, that's because
it happens so many times. Yeah,
exactly. You try to kill them.
I like to push myself, and then I always hear your voice when I'm working out hard. I'm like, you telling me I'm an athlete, so I'm like, I'm an athlete when I'm working out, and that pushes me over. I'll run anybody.
Yeah,
because I'm like focused, super steady focused.
They call you Flash. Why do they call you Flash?
I call myself Flash. Just waiting for it to stick. But my workout partner was the one that told me I should get into real estate. I joined the gym. I met her, and we became friends right away.
Wow.
And then after, being friends for a while, she was telling me, her and her mom were both like, you should get into real estate. And I'm like, I've always thought about it. Went and signed up for the classes, did my thing, and then and that was another goal of mine. I wanted to have my license before our wedding.
Yeah.
And I got it maybe a little less than a month before our wedding.
I thought it was like a week.
Well, it was March 28th that I got my license. So
I'm glad that you remember. It was a beautiful wedding, by the way. How did it feel like going, like, so we're talking about relationship goals. How did it feel getting married?
it was, I think that it was beautiful because you and I have got together in 2018.
Yeah.
You proposed a year later.
Right.
We already knew what we want, like that we wanted to be together.
Right.
Right? It was like immediately when we met each other, it's like, oh yeah, this man is checking off all my list of all the things that I wanted in a person. And so we just knew it. And as cliche as it might sound, as when you know, you know.
Yeah.
So I was never worried about it. I was never scared about it. I was excited about it. Sometimes people might have cold feet, or like, I don't know if this is really the person I want to be with the rest of my life, but you are that person.
Thank you.
Because you are always pushing me to grow, and we do that for each other.
Yeah, you're the person I knew. I knew from the moment I met you, my life was better with you coming into it. And I love who I am when I'm with you. So what about the wedding, though? Like, I think it was a dream wedding, right?
It was beautiful.
And we were supposed to get married during the year before COVID. We were supposed to get married that April.
Yeah. But COVID had happened because we got engaged in 2019. So 2020 came, and like life was obviously on hold at that time. And then when it was the end of 2021, we were just like, you know what, let's just do this wedding thing because we deserve it, right?
Yeah,
and we know exactly that we're gonna be together. We want to be together forever.
It was still kind of COVID though, right? Still kind of COVID. Things were still kind of like
it was starting to open up. I think that after we got married, we value and appreciate each other on another level now.
Yeah.
Even though we did before, it's just so much different now because it's like we both know that we're gonna be together. Like we're gonna make this work.
Yeah, no matter what.
And we have had a struggle of after we got married, right? Like not between each other, but just in our own separate lives.
Yeah. With
business and stuff, just growing. We're learning that it's those beginning stages for both of us in the different careers that we both have. Mm-hmm. We're just learning how to make it work. And the great thing is that we can both be there for each other.
Yeah.
And we're not causing any kind of extra stress.
No.
Relationship-wise, because a lot of times you can have a partner that will be like, you're putting more time into this than into our relationship, or like you need to close up your work and do this and that. We both understand it. We still make that time for each other, but we both understand that it takes a lot of work, especially working for yourself.
For sure. No, I think what happened was at the beginning of our relationship, it was going to be a struggle for us to be together because we were both in two different parts of the world.
Where were you at? New York?
I was in New York and you were in Florida. And I was traveling to places like Idaho, Utah, Georgia, South Carolina, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, every single week. And, how are we going to make this thing work, right? I think those struggles and us meeting up in New York or meeting in Tampa or meeting in Savannah and really just saying, okay, look, this is how we're going to do this, and putting those pieces together. And then even when we got down here, the beginning, I left everything because I wanted to be with you, and you kind of were like, okay.
We both had crazy other situations going on.
Sacrificing, yeah. And it was like, that was a struggle to make it happen, but it worked itself out. Like, it worked itself out. And then we were very extremely prosperous during that time. Like, everything built to be better and better and better. And even up until the point where we got married, it's like, okay, it's funny, right? You start a new chapter, and it's almost like new level, trying to unlock those same things. And that's why I think, like, you got to remember where you come from, right? Or where we came from, and how our beginnings happen, and look at those stages in our life and say, it feels similar, to this, I tell you, it's like, yo, it's similar to me starting my business when we first did that. And I feel like that's the same thing with what we're doing, you know?
Yeah, I watched you grow your solar business. No matter wherever you were at, you pulled out your laptop. But that's all things that I learned from you. I was just at the gym last night. Right after my class, pulled out my laptop, start working on some paperwork.
I'm not gonna lie, I love that.
Because it don't like we gotta make it. We gotta make it work.
Yeah, and you do whatever it takes, right?
Yeah, and I think, and that's what I was saying before. It's not, real estate is not for everybody.
Right.
People can get easily discouraged, and I have gotten discouraged also in the past. Someone can easily be like, let me get a full-time job, just so that I can, still bring in money, but you're also taking time away from just going hard and focusing on building up your relationships with people and building your business.
What's your goals for the beginning in 2023?
2023?
Yeah, the beginning. You said.
Oh, yeah. So I was like, you know what? I feel like things are starting to move. Like, let me do a little goal for myself. I say little because it's just one thing.
Okay.
But I was just like, let me put a plan. I plan on making $30,000 between January and February.
Woo!
And I had wrote it down, and then I sent it to my broker, my friend, and I was like, here, I want you to hold me accountable. This is my goals. In my life, in any point, I would have never imagined that I could do it. But I was like, I could do this.
Yes.
And I want to be able to tell people about it too, because it's something that anyone that I've ever known in my life would be like, that's out of reach. What? $30,000 in 2 months? But somehow, even that same later on that day, I started getting different leads coming in from crazy, from all different kinds of directions. And so I feel like I'm on the path to obtaining that.
I love that.
And that's the kind of stuff that I want to teach to my children. Like, you can make anything happen if you, if you really want it, it will come, but you have to also put in that work too.
Absolutely. Jen, I appreciate you definitely being here. What we want to do, we always ask the people in the Youngest of the Yacht Club to give one gem to the people, because they all see the top, they all see the journey, they all see the yacht, but sometimes you got to start off in the canoe. You got to start off you got to swim to get there. What's the one thing that you would tell someone starting off? What would you tell them?
Oh, something I would tell them?
One gem.
I would tell them to have a clear understanding of what you want to achieve, and write down your roadmap and stick with it, right? Put it in your phone as your screensaver or something, just so you can constantly see it every day. Don't get off that road, don't get off that path.
Wow. That's awesome. No, it's important. That's like, people don't understand the importance, like you said, of writing down the goals, keeping that on your screen.
Because if you just think about it all the time, that's the only place it stays is in your head.
Right. And when you put it down on paper, when you put it on your phone.
You put it down on paper, you will start seeing almost immediately, a lot of times, like, it's working.
Fire.
It's coming.
Fire. Well, I appreciate you, Jen. Definitely. Yo, let me ask you a question, because I don't want to confuse the viewers. Where can the viewers find you? Where can the homeowners find you? Where can people reach out to find you? And if they need a home, or if they need fitness, or if they need real estate, or real estate videos, or photos.
Oh, that was another thing. I love doing photos, videos. I love that because it helps bring that moment to life.
Yeah.
But one of my handles is your_realtor. Nope, it's not.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Never mind. Scratch that.
The National.
I just had to change it for whatever reason.
The National Realty Association.
Your_homegirl_Jenny. It's for if you were looking for a house, or for pictures and videos, shots with Jenny.
Ooh.
And for fitness, my lifestyle is OHH_Jenny, like Forrest Gump said.
How you spell Jenny?
JENNAY.
Awesome. So that's OHH_. Jennay.
Yes.
Awesome. Jenny, I appreciate you. I love you, baby. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's a special day for me.
I love you too, and I want you to have the best birthday ever.
I know. That's why
I'm
we're
not
gonna
trying to give you a high five.
Oh yeah, we gotta go back to fist
I just
bump.
speak with my hands.
I still do the high fives, man. It's just saying it's a long reach, but you know the vibes. I love you guys, man. Thank you, youngest in the Yacht Club. We got Jenny Serrano.
Thank you.
I love it. Have a great one. You already know.
You only get paid commission? I could never. Have you ever thought of getting a real job?
Look, mama made it. Drive a new Mercedes. Never missed a payment. I'm a real estate agent. No man's at home, so why can't I be your baby? I know that shit gets crazy, but I swear my life's amazing. Look, mama made it. Drive a new Mercedes. Never missed a payment. I'm a real estate agent. No man's at home, so why can't I be your baby? I know that shit gets crazy, but I swear my life's amazing. I wake up at 5 in the morning just to raise the bar. Took my kids to school if they spill juice up in my car. Please don't piss me off with all the questions about my bra. You got the funds or not? We closing this or not? Showing off these homes and I'm getting that respect. I'm never ever going back to living check to check. You will get blocked if you ask me for some sex. Just sold my third home, I ain't even break a sweat. I had to take some risks, but I know that I'd be okay. They ain't care to see me till I copped a pair of Dolces. Now they wanna help me, but I'm singing karaoke. When I'm in the bank, man, I'm feeling like I'm so paid. Look, mama made it. Drive a new Mercedes. Never missed a payment. I'm a real estate agent. No man's at home, so why can't I be your baby? I know that shit gets crazy, but I swear my life's amazing. Look, mama made it. Drive a new Mercedes. Never missed a payment. I'm a real estate agent. No man's at home, so why can't I be your baby? I know that shit gets crazy, but I swear my life's amazing. Look, mama made it. Let's go. I'm a real estate agent. Yes. Can I be your baby? Come on. I swear my life's amazing.